Hello, welcome back to class. And this is the ninth module. And in this module, we will try to look at public sector reform and IPSAS adoption, public sector reforms, and the International Public Sector Accounting Standard adoption. And in the process, we will look at the rationale for public sector reforms, the transition from cash to accrual accounting. We will also look at the International Public Sector Accounting Standard implementation challenges and opportunities. And we'll look at the case study of Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya. We'll bring it together to see the common implementation challenge and opportunity that are being faced in the process of adoption of International Public Sector Accounting Standard. And why the need for reform? If we are saying public sector reform, why the need for reform? Public sector reform are essential for improving transparency, accountability, and efficiency in managing public resources. And it aims to modernize financial system and aligns with international best practices. And the key driver of this reform is actually the IPSAS, International Public Sector Accounting Standard, which are central pillars of the reform, and it involves a major shift from cash-based accounting to the accrual-based accounting. And for us to be able to get the understanding of this reform, we need to, the module will help us to be able to understand how reforms and the International Public Sector Accounting Standard contributes to better governance and decision-making in government parastatals. Why do governments undertake this reform? Why do they undertake this reform? The first one is its ability to enhance transparency and accountability. And it talks about combating corruption and misuse of funds. Another is improved efficiency and service delivery. Public sector reform. The reason why there is need for public sector reform is the introduction of modern performance-based management. The introduction of modern performance-based management in terms of new public management. Also, another reason is to strengthen fiscal sustainability as better management of public debt and control expenditure are very, very crucial in public sector. So it's the reason why government should undertake the reform is to ensure a better management of public debt and control expenditure. Another reason is to be able to meet donor expectation. The donors can be the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and to attract investments. And the last reason is to be able to restore citizens' confidence in government institutions. Shifting from cash to accrual accounting, we made mention of this in the past module, and it's just a recap as such. As per the recognition, the cash accrual is recognized when cash is being received or paid, while the accrual accounting is recognized when economic event occurs. At the particular moment when it occurs, is when it's been recognized. And for the information, they are limited. It's limited to cash flow, and for the accrual basis or accounting, it provides full picture of assets, liability, revenue, and expenses. It provides this. And based on the usefulness, the cash accounting is useful for short-term cash management, while the accrual accounting is useful for long-term fiscal planning and decision-making. In essence, accrual accounting provides a comprehensive and accurate view of government's financial health. Looking at the process of transitioning from the cash to accrual, we need to look at some stages it passes through to the full IPSAS compliance. The transition from cash to accrual accounting is typically gradual and involves several stages to ensure institutional readiness. And these include the first stage, modified cash basis. And at this stage, it's the addition of some accrual elements to the cash basis. The second stage is the modification or modified accrual basis, and this talks about the recognition of current assets and liabilities. And the third stage, which is the last stage, is the full accrual basis, which deals with full IPSAS compliance. And it faces challenges, just like we will see in the coming slide also. Challenges that are being faced in the transitional process are lack of trained accountants, reluctance to change from old system, which is an institutional resistance. Another is the technological and cost barrier, which talks about the need for new software and training. And the last one is complex asset valuation, dealing with the difficulty in valuing infrastructure and heritage assets. Just like we've known, the IPSAS is the International Public Sector Accounting Standard, and it is issued by the International Public Sector Accounting Standard Board. And the main aim or the goal of bringing this up, issuing this, is to improve the quality, the comparability, and the transparency of public sector accounting, public sector financial reporting globally. And the core principle of this is actually to promote accrual-based accounting, to provide a true and fair view of government finances. And the key requirements are: 1, accurate reporting of financial performance and position; 2, recognition of all assets and liabilities; 3, comprehensive disclosure. These are the key requirements of IPSAS, the key requirements of IPSAS. And the challenges of IPSAS, they are technical complexity and skill shortage, institutional resistance to change, high implementation costs, legal and regulatory misalignment. These are the challenges faced. While we have opportunities that includes enhanced transparency and accountability and improvement in decision making, also an alignment with international best practice. Another is strengthened international control, and the last is the global credibility and investors' confidence. Looking at Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana, which are part of Africa, what can we say? What lesson can we actually learn from them? And we could pick from 3 different sections. The first is the implementation highlights. And what are these? What can we see for these 3 countries? They have implementation highlights common to each other. And the first thing to note in the implementation is that all adopted a phased approach. And when we talk about a phased approach, it's a gradual approach. They put up a gradual approach to the adoption of the standard. And also, they invested heavily in capacity building and training. All these 3 invested heavily in capacity building and training, and also they are focused on upgrading financial IT system. They are focused on upgrading financial IT system. And as per the challenges, they also faced common challenges. The first is valuing public assets in terms of infrastructure. And the next is resistance from officials who are just bent on what they've been using before, and due to the complexity of the accrual-based accounting system. And another is the integrating accrual reporting with cash-based budgets. Those are the challenges being faced. However, there are positive outcomes from these three. The first is an improved transparency and credibility with donors. Another is better audit quality and legislative oversight. And the last one is enhanced public financial management. We've seen that lessons have been learned from the adoption process, which actually should improve or should encourage other countries who are not yet really practicing to come into it fully. And these are strong political will. And this talks about high government support is non-negotiable. And another is the phased implementation aspect, which is a gradual managed transition reduces risk. When it happens gradually, it reduces risk and possibly will be able to transition to the full stage as time goes on. Another thing which was learned is investment in capacity building, and this is a continuous training for accountants and auditors, which is very, very essential. Another lesson to learn from this case studies is the modernized system and data. And this talks about the reliable data and robust IT infrastructures are prerequisites. They are very great requirements in the adoption process. And the last lesson is a stakeholders engagement, talking about the collaboration with all ministries, auditors, and development partners. In conclusion, public sector reforms and international public sector accounting standard adoption are fundamental to good governance, and the shift to accurate accounting, while challenging, provides a true picture of financial health, and this empowers government for sustainable planning, strengthened public trust, and ensure effective use of resources for national development. Thanks for listening.